Hey, mama. I hope you are having a great start to your Monday. We are going to dive right into the thick of what you need today because the feedback from you since launching this podcast, honestly, is what inspired this episode. And that is balance. I'm getting real on why I respectfully disagree with those who say balance cannot exist. And I'm going to be going deep with the importance of connecting to yourself, your values, your feelings, and the mindset behind it all. So if you're ready to feel a sense of relief and stop being so hard on yourself because you just can't find that answer to the magical balance equation, I'm going to be giving you 6 things that you can start doing today to feel more balanced in life. Let's get to it. Hey mama, welcome to the Balanced Mom Method podcast. I know you're here because you're tired of living day after day like you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood. You're done struggling with trying to find the time and energy to get it all done every day, and you want to show your little ones a good example, but you're so exhausted, which has your negative self-talk on repeat, patience spread thin, and you feel like you're losing yourself a little more every day. Plus, the mom guilt, comparison game, and unpredictability of motherhood just does not help in trying to make a change. Well, sweet friend, this podcast will give you a simple and sustainable approach to break free from that survival mode cycle, all by identifying and possibly simplifying your habits. Hey, I'm Jenna, and I've been where you are. I was consumed in the struggles of motherhood, and I needed to make a change to take back control of my time, energy, identity, and life, mostly just to feel like myself again. And in finding that freedom, it became my mission to help make that connection with moms that we can give our children and families the best and not at the expense of our own health, self, and well-being. Moms shouldn't have to choose between their family's priorities and themselves. We can balance it all, and it all starts within ourselves. Let me take your hand to make that connection with you and equip you with simple, lifelong habits. If you are ready to say goodbye to just surviving and finally reclaim your life in motherhood, then you're in the right place. Let's get to the root of cultivating real change because it's time to feel like you again. Warm up that cold coffee, pop in your earbuds, and tighten that top knot. Let's overcome together. So I know I said that this episode was really inspired by the feedback I received from starting this podcast, and that is 1000% truth, because all the new faces in our motherhood empowerment community and even messages I've been having behind the scenes, the majority have said that balance has been their number one struggle. And I know that balance means different things for all of us, because sometimes to some of us, or even some seasons in our life, it might feel like work life, mom life, life balance, right? Like work, mom, life balance being out of whack, or others may feel that maybe just their mom time and me time is off balance, or that they never get alone time with their spouse. So you might even feel like you need to choose between grocery shopping or cleaning your house today. And once again, your house is left a pigsty. So whatever those feelings are that feel out of balance for you, it's hard. It's justified. You are validated. And it is a hard thing. It is a hard pendulum. It is a hard scale. However you like visualize balance within your mind, it's hard. And whatever area it is for you, can you agree that it's like feeling pulled to do all the things all the time? And you have a thought in your head, but then your kids have another agenda and you never write down that said thought. And then hours later, you're like racking your brain and you can't think of it for the life of you, which just causes more stress. Like, did I kind of paint that picture a little bit? Because it's just a never-ending cycle that layers so deep and it's so rooted in the feelings that we'll just never get out of this season. And balance is such a polarizing topic. And I know that a lot of people say balance does not exist, but I have to respectfully disagree because I feel that balance can exist. Maybe with a different perspective or a different twist, but I feel that balance exists because creating balance in life is not about being able to do it all of the time. This is my definition of balance, and this is what we're really going to get into the nitty of today and in the future of this show and as you become a balanced mom. So I define balance as being intentional with what matters most in the season or maybe even day that you're in, and finding joy in those moments and being present in those moments and letting go of the things that bring you stress and overwhelm. So it's when you're valuing what you need to feel the way that you want to feel. Okay? Being intentional with what matters most in the season that you are in and valuing what you need to feel the way you want to feel. And we all know that some days or some seasons are more challenging than others. So we have to value what we need, how we want to feel, and what that term balance actually looks like in that moment of our lives. So what is that balance that we are even searching for? So think of a tip of an iceberg. At the tip is the sense of balance, whatever that definition is or whatever that visually looks like in your life at this moment. And then under the water is that huge formation of the iceberg, the meat, the root. And that is the same concept with how we can approach this sense of balance, because that tip of the iceberg is ultimately what we're striving for, but we have to get to that foundation under the water to really cultivate that change. And there's so much root and so much meat in figuring out where our feelings lie and what might feel imbalanced, and really figuring out, what does balance even mean? Because balance is such a vague term, and it's crazy because it's such a polarizing topic, and I don't even really care for the word balance because I understand why people say balance cannot exist. But the reason I disagree is because of the whole perspective and mindset shifts that we have to make around it. Again, if you're a balanced mom, you know that thinking differently is where it's at. Okay. So on the outside, it may be like, okay, I'm really struggling with finding balance in life, but you need to ask yourself, what is that root cause? And we aren't conditioned to think that way. And that's why I'm challenging that norm to rewire and rework our mindset to think differently. So often we find ourselves on this hamster wheel that I kind of described above, having that thought and then you get pulled away because your kids or your spouse or something comes up and you never get to think through that thought. You never get to write the thought down. You never get to take that action, right? We're drowning in that day-to-day hustle, living in high stress, the chaos, the overwhelm, that survival mode state, trying to do it all the time. And that is just not attainable. And it shouldn't have to be attainable. You are only one person who already has the most successful yet tiring, selfless job, and that is to raise the next generation. Whether you are a stay-at-home parent or a work out of the home parent or work in the home parent, we all have challenges and different forms of imbalance that we struggle with. Heck, within our lives, right? We struggle with different imbalances throughout the day or season or months or whatever it might be. But we can all use paralleled ways to reach our own solutions. Because regardless of our work or life status or season that we're in, everything circles back to connecting to yourself, your values, your feelings, and the mindset behind it all. Because it all starts within and that foundation of harnessing an empowered mindset. So I want to jump into 6 ways for you to actually feel more balanced today. Real quick, how would it feel to have an entire step-by-step plan for how to overcome your survival mode cycle? Take my hand and join me in the Balanced Mom Method online course to take back control of your time, energy, identity, and life, one nap at a time. This course will help you rid the overwhelm of how and simplify your transformation over 12 weeks, covering 13 in-depth learning and action-taking modules, all following my simple, to-the-point 4-step formula for how to cultivate any sustainable change in your life. We start within to think differently and develop an empowered mindset, and then move outward to master your habits, teaching you simple strategies you can implement into your life for the long term. And if you're listening to this before the end of October 2022, in addition to the course, you will also receive 2 free 30-minute one-on-one calls with me. I will personally mentor you and walk you through a customized plan that will force you into action. Also, this is the last opportunity to enroll in this course at this price. The price of this course is going to triple in the next few weeks because of the additional resources, workbooks, and value I have poured into it. Check out more information about the Balanced Mom Method online course at www.bit.ly/TBMM course. Again, that is www.bit.ly/TBMM course to learn more. And I say feel more balanced instead of achieving balance because, again, it's an ebb and flow. And what's important is making sure you are intentional and acting on how you want to feel and what that balance looks like that you're striving for. So tip number 1 is how do you want to feel? Really hone in on your balanced mom method 4-step formula from episode 2 and get to the root. Identify. If you're thinking, well, I want to feel balanced, then go a layer deeper. What's out of alignment to where you're feeling out of balance? Pay attention to how things feel and take action in a way that aligns this feeling with what balance will look like to you. Allow yourself to listen and to connect with yourself. Tip number 2 is know that it is important to acknowledge what season that you're in. We are always going to be busy, and it doesn't matter what season of life that you're in, you will be busy, but there are definitely busier seasons than others. For example, the 4th trimester. We have all been there, right? And we all know how big of a blur it is. So you aren't going to be going balls to the wall, waking up at 4 a.m., doing your morning routine and reading and doing your devotional, working out, meditating, drinking your coffee, doing all those things before your kids wake up. Because as that time may be a wake up for your newborn, you're going to be going back to sleep too because you haven't gotten a lot of sleep throughout the night. And using me as an example, I am freshly coming out of that 4th trimester, but I still have a baby that does not sleep through the night. And my morning mindset routine it's precious. It truly is. I cannot wait for that time to get back to that time for me every day, because it truly is that one time of the day where I can pour into me, have some quiet time, have some me time right at the start of the day. And it helps me be a better human, a better mom, spouse. It just helps me be better for everyone else, including myself. So when I had my daughter, I chose sleep, and I'm still choosing sleep because that 4-month sleep regression rocked her little world, and she is still waking up every hour at 9 months, but we will not go there right now. But I'm still choosing sleep because that is the number one thing that I know that I need in this season for me to feel my best, for my mindset to stay strong, for my mental well-being, to be able to give my best to me and my children and my family throughout the day. Tip number 3, know the difference between grace and excuses. This one, it's not very a tangible tip, but I had to go here. We are so hard on ourselves, and a lot of times we need to give ourselves grace. If you are, I don't know what Enneagram it is, or if you're type A, that's like the term that I know, type A. I don't know Enneagram or any of the other personality tests things. I shouldn't have even brought that up because I can't even use that as an example. But if you are someone that does not sit down easily, does not rest easily, we have to also know that we need to give ourselves grace too. We have to let go of perfectionism, what other people think, and we truly have to connect to ourselves and know what it is that we need. And sometimes that is rest or some grace, okay? But then in the next breath, we all know too well about dreaded excuses. We've all made excuses. We've all justified them for better or worse. So the takeaway here is really about being intentional to learn how to know the difference for yourself between giving yourself grace versus justifying excuses with that negative mindset loop. Tip number 4 is take an audit of your lifestyle habits. Back to tangible tip here. We all know what we should and shouldn't be doing deep down, right? Yet, we still do a lot of those things that we know that maybe aren't so good habits, and they're not good vices that we might get stuck or down a rabbit hole with. Good or bad, our habits dictate our lives. So if we are full of some not so good habits that may also lend to more negative emotions, downward spirals, negative mindset loops, or whatever, that not so good, using social media as a vice or alcohol as a vice, right? So think of those lifestyle habits that might not be good habits. Be true to yourself. Do the audit and make those small steps towards making a change. And also, don't be hard on yourself in the process. Don't judge yourself. This leads me to tip number 5. We overcomplicate the true simplicity behind feeling balanced in life. So tip number 5 is we overcomplicate the true simplicity behind feeling balanced in life. There's a few of these that are not tangible tips, but I want you to sit with this because it all comes back to your mindset and that foundation of starting within. So look at the big picture here. We can't do all the things all the time, but what does the balance look like that you're striving for? Like, shut your eyes and think, okay, what does this balance look like in my life? What is it that I feel so overwhelmed with or drowning in that I don't feel balanced? Well, how would it look if I did feel balanced? Get to that root cause to be able to focus on a solution. And also, here's a little tough love. Start taking the action. Just do it and stop sulking and stop procrastinating. Because when it comes down to it, doing the things, or we kind of know what the things we should be doing, that's the simplicity piece. It's the action piece that isn't always the simple part. So just do it. Stop sulking. Stop judging. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop procrastinating. I'm like saying that with air quotes because I am still a procrastinator at times. So you have to just do the thing. And tip number 6 is do something for you every day. Let it be drinking a cup of coffee, a hot cup of coffee, going to the bathroom alone, taking a shower alone. Oh my gosh, hallelujah. Taking a walk, a shower, I just said that, washing your hair, or actually just, you could go out and physically do something for yourself. It doesn't matter what it is, but just do something for you that will bring yourself joy every single day. That's it. 6 things that you could walk away with today and start feeling, truly feeling more balanced within yourself, within your motherhood, within your life. So what I want you to do right now is stop doing the dishes or the laundry or whatever you might be doing if you're multitasking with me. I'm right there with you. Preach, right? But listen to my voice real quick. What I want you to do is give yourself a gut check moment. Which one of these things do you need to tackle today? Like right now. I want you to press pause for a second and think with me. Which one of those tips, being more in tune with listening to how you want to feel, acknowledging the season that you're in to assess what balance actually looks like, gut check yourself with grace versus excuses, taking an audit of your habits, being intentional with simplifying the big picture, or doing something for you. I want to push you a little bit to get out of your comfort zone. So which one are you going to dive into first? And let me know. Head over to the Balanced Mom Method Motherhood Empowerment Community. Head in there and share which one of these 6 tips resonated most with you and which one you're going to really hone in on first. And if you're not a part of the community, the link to join is in the show notes below. And I cannot wait to chat with you in there. It really is a great group of moms. We're just rolling together in this journey in a judgment-free yet supportive space. And remember, if you need more of an intentional plan with how to overcome your survival mode cycle in a step-by-step format, in a layout of a course, maybe the Balanced Mom Method online course is for you. That is also linked in the show notes if you want to just learn more about what the course is all about. And also, I'm timestamping this podcast episode right now. But if you are listening to this before October 31st, 2022, if you enroll in the Balanced Mom Method online course before the 31st, before Halloween, you will get 2 free 30-minute one-on-one clarity calls with me. And that we can do right before you start the course to really get a good game plan. And then a second call throughout the course or right when you finish. And final plug here, this is the last couple weeks that this course will be at this price. It will be upping price quite a bit because I've poured a lot of extra resources and value and workbooks and all the things into this course. It truly is, I don't want to say I'm being biased, but it really is an amazing course. Okay, regardless, remember, you have everything inside of you to reach your breakthrough in your journey, okay? Believe that. Take hold of that right now. You have everything inside of you. You are not in control of your circumstances, but you are in control of the choices that you make despite those circumstances. So go get after it. Until next week, as always, simply be you, mama. I'm sending my love and light.
Did you find this episode valuable or for farming? Please leave Mama a review.
Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Balanced Mom Method podcast. I pray this episode has grown and helped you in some way. If it has, I'd be so grateful if you left a review sharing how it's impacted you. It truly lights me up hearing you're on your way to your breakthrough. And then, please share this episode with another mom who may be struggling to remind her we are never alone. And remember, There isn't ever a one-size-fits-all to overcoming our personal hardships, but there are a lot of parallels with how we show up to our lives and common habits we can make our own to live an intentional life full of peace, presence, confidence, clarity, and balance. Be sure to check the show notes for additional ways to connect with me, our mom community, and resources and courses for you to overcome your survival mode cycle once and for all with doable habits. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do. Sending my love and light.